Hi friends, welcome to your math lesson this week. This week we're learning about line plots. So line plots are a form of a graph. You've heard about bar graphs before. I'm sure you've heard of pie charts before. Line plots are a form of a graph. Line plots give you data. Data is information, just like your other graphs that you've learned about. And data is a collection of facts. So when you look at this line plot or any other graph, they're facts. And you know what facts are, right? True, real information, not made up. So we're going to start with this line plot that I made real quick. Now, this one's not real. I just said that data are facts, but I just made this one up for our lesson. But when you do your own, or when you do practice, a lot of the times it's going to be real, okay? That's what they're supposed to be used for. Got it? Okay. So, just like any other graph, this line plot shows how frequent or how many times something occurs by displaying the data on a number line. So that's the big word version of what I just said before. So here's the data, the information, and we can read it by looking at the number line. So the title of this graph is Number of Hours Studying. So this graph is about the number of hours that the children in Miss Thierry and Miss Wilson's class spent studying for their math test. Okay, let's find out. Ready? So we have a 0, we have a 1, we have a 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. And we know they're not minutes, we know they're hours based on the title of the graph. First thing is, I said these were two classes. Do you know how we can figure out? Well, let me back up for a second. First of all, what do you think the X's stand for? What does each X stand for? Kids. If you said the kids, students, any of that, you're right. So 1X is equal to 1 student, okay? And then if we want to find out how many students were asked or how many students were in both classes, what would we do to find the answer? If you said count all the X's, ding, 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 you're right. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many kids are in this class or these classes combined? 12 kids. Yes. Very good, because we count in the X's and each X stands for 1 kid. So then if you were taking a test or practicing, or when you go to practice after you're done watching this video, there's going to be questions that say, how many children did not study at all for their math test? Well, if they didn't study, they studied for how many hours? 0. So how many children studied for 0 hours? You look at 0. 1. 1 student did not study. Uh-oh. What about how many students studied for 2 hours? So we're going to look at 2 and count the X's. 1, 2, 3. So how many students studied for 2 hours? 3. Good job. Okay, what about a question like, what or how many hours did the most students study for? So we need to remember most means the biggest number, the greatest number, and we got to look at our whole graph. So 1 for 0, 2 for 1, nobody studied for 1.5 hours, 3 students studied for 2 hours, 4 studied for 2.5 hours, 1 for 3 hours, and 1 for 3.5. So which one has the most? 2.5. Very good. So the most students studied for 2.5 hours. Okay? So this is simple. You can do it. Now there is going to be a little assignment. It's not in this video like it was in last week, so it's going to be pinned down below. And you can answer it by writing your answers on a piece of paper and replying to this Canvas announcement with your answers. You can email them to your teacher, inbox them to your teacher. If you text your teacher, you and your parents, and if your teacher says that's okay, you can text your answers. However you want to get the answers to the little worksheet that we put underneath there is perfectly okay. If you have questions, you know how to get in touch with your teacher, message us, send us an email, call or text us if that's what you do. Come to our office hours. Come to our office hours. That's where we really want to help you, okay? We love you, we miss you, and we hope that you have fun.